But why do we need this? To draw conclusions from data only. আমার কাছে 5 জনের মার্কস রয়েছে, 5 জনের হাইট রয়েছে 160, 163, 161, 165, 162, something like that. So এর অ্যাভারেজটা মোটামুটি will lie between 160 to 165 and all, the range, everything. এটা তো দেখে বলা যায় না সবসময়। Say I have 5 data out here, আমি দেখে বলতে পারছি। If the data rises to 5 lakh or something, we cannot do that with our hands, right? তখন we need tools. That tools is provided by the statistic. Understood? বোঝা গেছে? যে ডেটা থেকে ইনফারেন্স ড্র করার জন্য যে টুলস গুলো লাগবে, that is provided in this chapter. Understood? খুব বেশি কিছু জানতে হবে না, কিন্তু যেটুকু করাবো সেটুকুই পরীক্ষায় আসবে, এত গ্যারান্টি আছে। ন্যাকড়া কথা হচ্ছে। I leave out a single word. I remove everything and I leave out a single word, data. So if this is the thing which we are analyzing, then we must understand how it is classified or the types of data we have. এটা চুপ কর না সবাই। Say if I ask 5 people what their heights are, they will give me some numbers and something. If I ask them how many people are there in their families, family size, they will again give me a number, say 5, 2, 0, 7, 3, example. If I ask them their educational qualifications, these all comes under the category of demography. I hope you all know by now. The educational qualification, some say class 10, some say they are graduate, some say 12, some say illiterate, another guy says 12. এখানে কেউ 1, 2, 3, 4 বলবে? আশা করা যাচ্ছে বলবে না। কাউকে জিজ্ঞেস করলে সে কতটা এডুকেটেড, সে বললো আমি 2, won't make any sense. There should be some categories, that's it, nothing else, right? And also if I ask someone what their blood group is, they will say O positive, O negative, blah, 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 whatever there is. Correct? এখানেও কি 1, 2, 3, 4 বলবে যে আমার ব্লাড গ্রুপ 2, আমার ব্লাড গ্রুপ 4? না। But this is also data, this is also data, this is also data, this is also data. Correct? So it is evident that data is of multiple types. So we need to classify that first. So some data talks about some quantity, some numbers. These are all quantities, right? So like if this person and this person, these two families merge, then the family size will be 9, right? How did we do? We just add them, correct? If I like take these two people and make them stand on a weighing scale, the weighing scale will show 321. Or the height scale, like I stack one on the top of the other, and then I measure them, then they will come out to be 321 centimeters, right? How did I do? I just added them. But can you add these two? Can you add O positive and O negative? So some data talks about numbers where you can do mathematical operations. This type of data is called quantitative data. Why? There is some quantity involved, correct? And here, what are we talking about? We are talking about some qualities, right? If I ask someone what is your blood group, they say O positive, then that's a quality only. So that type of data is called quantitative data, a qualitative data. Because it talks about a quality. Understood? এবং এখানে আরেকটা, we can see something out here, a characteristic feature that there are some certain categories, right, in which they can answer. So this type of data is also called categorical data. This much understandable? But I gave you 4 examples. There is only 2 out here. So quite obvious that there will be subgroups. Now coming to the quantitative data part. Say if I ask someone what their family size is, how many people are there in a family. Can anyone say 4.3? Makes no sense, correct? So that type of data is called discrete data. Where the data can only take some specified values, not any value in the number system. Get it? And there is something called continuous data. Quite obviously, by the name, you can see that the data is evenly continuous over the number line, right? If I ask someone what his height is, and he can say 163.271573217 centimeter and something like that. This is possible, right? Maybe you cannot measure up to this accuracy, but this is possible, right? So that type of data is called continuous data. But understand one thing. In reality, we will never get continuous data. Correct? Say even if I bring a machine which can like measure up to like 10 units of accuracy, like 7, 3, 2, 1 and till 10 units, someone will say that only, okay, it is still bound. It can only take specific values, right? It cannot measure the 11 digit and like unlock another dimension. Correct? So in reality, we will always get discrete data only, but for the ease of analysis, we might convert that to a continuous data. Understood? But obviously, এখন তোরা এতটা complicated যদি কিছু বুঝতে নাও পারিস by easy definition মেনে নে, you can understand that discrete data is the data which don't have decimals, and this is the data which has decimals. But this is a very wrong definition, but you can use it to understand. Get my point? Like even if I have something like someone's net worth 10732.50, the amount of money he has in his bank, can this decimal cross like 532? It cannot go there, right? So আমার পুরো জিনিসটা এর মধ্যে থাকবে 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5 থেকে শুরু করে 9999.5, 1 lakh, 4, 5 and so on. Correct? Still discrete. But for the ease of analysis, we might convert it to a continuous data or treat it like a continuous data and then we can analyze it. Get my point? So discrete data, continuous data বোঝা গেছে। Example কেউ চাইলে, example would be family size. Number of offsprings, everything what you can think of. Continuous data, height, weight, whatever. Get it? These are the examples, textbook examples, but now you know the real thing. Now coming to qualitative data. Qualitative data is of two types. One is nominal, where it speaks about a name, see? And another is ordinal, where it has some degree of ordering. Correct? Now, what was the examples I gave for qualitative data? One was, what was that? Educational qualification. And then other was blood group. Correct? Say go to a village and interview 500 people. Correct? Ask them these two questions. Illiterate, there were like 120 people. 10, there were like, say, 100 people. 12, there were like another 100 people. Graduation, there were like 80, 200, 300, 400. And like higher studies, there were like another 100 people. Correct? Here, if I like really want to like write that 12 here and 10 here, will this data make any sense? No, because there is a sense of ordering out here. Correct? But in the blood group part, say O positive, they were, I'm copying the same digits. Positive, just don't get like too excited about the numbers. I just copy the same digits because why will I even? Here, if I like want to write the B out here and A out here, it will still make the same sense. No sense of ordering out here. So this type of data is called nominal data, where the categories are just names, there is no ordering. And this type of data is called ordinal data, where the categories have a sense of ordering. Understood? And why did we classify it? At least for now you understand. Let's draw this as a diagram. For continuous data, we can use histograms. You have seen this? For nominal data, we can use pie chart. No problem. I'll write this down. Histogram, pie chart. Now for coming to discrete data and ordinal data, both of these have unique values here. Not any values, just unique values here, and both of them have a sense of ordering. 1, 2, 3, 4, it can also be ordered, this can also be ordered. So here, if we draw the categories here and put the frequencies out here, then the sense of ordering will still remain. So for this type of data, we use bar diagrams. Say I have a population of 1 lakh people. Height data is on 1 lakh people. I cannot go to everyone, collect everyone's height, right? So what can I do? I can get a small sample out of it, say 50 people, and ask them their heights. I have got heights of 50 people out here. So what can we do? We can draw diagrams out of that. We can draw diagrams out of the 50 people. What can we do? We can find the average. Like if someone comes to you and asks you about the data of the 50 people, you don't go out reading the 50 data, right? What do? You find a representative value with something which lies in the between. Correct? And that's called an average. We can do that. We can find some measures of dispersion like range, standard deviation, variance, mean deviation, etc. You know all this. You have heard these terms, right, before. Now the point is, whatever we are doing out here, we are just describing this data set only. Correct? This type of analysis is called descriptive analysis. Correct? And good news, this is all we have for our practical syllabus. Okay? This is all we have. We are supposed to have certain things from inferential also, but that's not that common also. But yeah, I'll teach you guys, but I don't think that's very important. This part is very important. So, subparts diagram. We can do diagram. We can do frequency distributions. We don't have this also, why I don't know, but we don't have this. Frequency distribution is I give you 50 data and you make that in a frequency table. You know frequency tables, right? Like 160 to 165, 165 to 170, 170 to 175. And there are 30, 10, 10. Frequency table. So we can do that also. And what else? We can find a representative value, some value in the between. Correct? That type of analysis is called central tendency. Okay. So what kind of data can we find that represents the center? One is the mathematical average or the arithmetic mean, whatever you call it. And okay, people actually call it just the mean. That is not correct, but okay, we call it just the mean. It is denoted by X bar. There is a notation. And how do we find that? We add all the 50 values out here. And divide that by 50. Correct? Nothing very difficult. In terms of mathematics, we write it like this. Correct? And For the example, I used the 50 number. For that, if you want to generalize it, we can write any out here. Correct? This is the formula of mean. Correct? So, if we want to find the mean out here, what will we do? We'll just add all the data and divide it by the number of patients, which is 10, and get the mean. Not that difficult, I guess. So, the mean can be looked as the magnitudinal center. Why magnitudinal center? We add all the data points, we add the magnitudes of all the data points and divide it by the number. So, this is the magnitudinal center. Now, there is another thing called median. Median is the positional center. What is the positional center? Say, I have 5 data points. Correct? So, taking 6 as the reference, number of people below it is equal to the number of people above it. Correct? So, this is the positional center. So, what are we going to do with this data? First, we are going to arrange it, then try to find the middle value. Correct? That is the median. Now, median comes with a problem. What is the problem? 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Say I have 5 data points. So, the number is odd. 5 is odd. So, in case of an odd number, we can easily find a middle value. Correct? If I increase another data point out here, which is the middle value? These two, I guess. These two, I guess. So, I will treat both of these as the median, but I cannot. There should be a single value. So, what we do? We take the average of these two. Correct? So, this is the intuition. Now, let me chalk the formula out for you. The formula of median is given by n plus 1 by 2th value if n is odd. Correct? And n by 2th value plus n by 2 plus first value divided by 2 if n is even. Here there are 10 patients, the patient 10 is an even number. So what do? We take the 5th and the 6th value and then take the average. Understood? I hope you do. And there is another thing, that is the mode. What is the mode? Mode is the most frequent value. Mode is the most frequent value. What is most frequent? Say I have this data. Okay, I have this data. Let's arrange this. Clearly 4 occurred 3 times. Highest frequency. The most frequent data is, first frequent value is 4. Thus the mode will be 4. But inferential statistics key share to bol. We have a population, we have taken a sample out of it. Correct? We have described the sample using descriptive statistics. What are we going to do with that? What will I do with the average of the 50 people? I have no work with that. I have to come back to the population only, which is 1 lakh. I cannot go to each and every individual from the population. But that's why I have taken a sample of 50 people. What are we going to do with that data? Nothing. No significance. So we are going to use some measures to get back to the population. Draw inferences about the population. That process is called inferential statistics. I will not deviate much into inferential statistics today. I guess I will get a class later on. But you get the point, right? And again, let me make you understand one thing. Cool. I have 3 data points. I have 3 data sets. X, Y, and Z. Can you find the mean of X? Go ahead. अरे है ना बेर करो है बोलছে for Y even if you try to find the median, that's also going to be 6. So central tendencies alone couldn't say distinguish between data efficiently. So that's why we need something called measures of dispersion. Get my point? আমার কাছে 10 জনের বিপি ডেটা দেয়া রয়েছে, correct? I have data on blood pressures of 10 patients, correct? Now tell me one thing. If I add 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 7 plus 5, or if I add 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, will this yield different values? Same values only, just an arrangement. Now see, for the median, we will always require the data to be arranged. So why will I copy the non-arranged data? I will not copy, it's already in the question paper. So we will start answering it like this. Data on diastolic BP in millimeter mercury is given to us. Now on 10 patients, of 10 patients is given to us. Okay. Arranging in ascending order, we get, let's arrange the data first. আমি বলতে থাক সবাই, প্রথমটা হবে 80, তারপর 76 আছে, ও 76, তারপর 80 এর পরে 84, তারপর 90, 92, ঠিক আছে। Fine. Now what are we supposed to find? The measures of central tendency, mean, median and mode. Okay, let's dive into the mean. For mean, you will write mean is equal to x bar is equal to 1 by n summation xi. Correct? হ্যাঁ করে ফেলেছিস? ঠিক আছে, লিখে করতে হবে, করে ফেললে তো বললে লোকের থেকে টুকেছিস। আর ওটা ক্যালকুলেটারে হাতে করতে হয়, ঠিক আছে। So here we will write n is equal to number of observations or number of patients, whatever you want to call it. is equal to 10. We will write everything out here. Marks কাটার জায়গায় আমরা রাখবো না, কেন রাখবো? xi ith observation. I is equal to 1 to up to 10. ঠিক আছে, এতটা লেখা যায়। Now you write everything down and just do it. 76 plus 80 plus up to 102, মানে তোরা ডট ডট দিবি না, আমি দিলাম তাড়াতাড়ি করার জন্য। কত এসছে? 88.4। ঠিক আছে, ভুল। আমরা যেই মুহূর্তে ডেটাটাকে লিখবো, মানে we will incorporate the numeric numbers inside the formula. At that moment we will use the unit. Get my point? This is the correct answer. No one can take 1 marks from you. এরকম ভাবে অ্যান্সার করা যাবে। পার্ট 2, median. What is the formula? Let's write it down. And then I'll rub this. And then you write here n is equal to 10, which is even. Therefore median, and therefore thus is equal to 10 by 2th value plus 10 by 2 plus first value divided by 2 is equal to 5th value plus 6th value divided by 2. 5th value কোনটা? 1 2 3 4 5, এটা হ্যাঁ 86 আর 88 তো 86 plus 88 by 2 millimeter mercury, 87 millimeter mercury. মিডিয়ান বের করতে শিখেছি। Now hopping to mode. Mode, most frequent value. হ্যাঁ সব ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু বাবা পরীক্ষায় আমায় এগুলো লিখতে হবে কিন্তু। হ্যাঁ, most frequent value. $86 occurred twice. Rest have occurred once. Thus mode is equal to 86 millimeter mercury. ঠিক আছে, হবে পারা যাবে। পরের অঙ্কটা কর। আচ্ছা, বক্তব্য হলে এই অঙ্কগুলো যদি এখন একটু হাতে করে নেওয়া যায়, বুঝে নেওয়া যায়, তাহলে পরীক্ষার আগে প্রবলেম হয় না। নইলে পরীক্ষার হলে এমন এমন উত্তর দেখেছি যাতে আমরা জিনিসপত্র ভুলে যাচ্ছি। নম্বর দেওয়া তো দূরের কথা, এরকমও খাতা পেয়েছি যেখানে আমরা 20-তে 1.5 এর বেশি দেওয়া সম্ভব হয়। হ্যাঁ, আরে ঠিক আছে, অ্যান্সারে পুরোটা কর, পরিষ্কার করে কর, তারপর তো খাতা দেখছি আমি। সেটা তো গুগলে এই ডেটাটা আপলোড করলে সঙ্গে সঙ্গে পুরোপুরি উত্তরই দিয়ে দেয় আমাদের, সেটা তো কোনো কথা নয়। কর, আমি তোর খাতাটাই দেখে নেবো, চাপ নেই। আচ্ছা, আরেকটা কথা, নেক্সট উইক বুধবার দিন তোরা 1:30টার সময় আসতে পারবি? কেন? তাড়াতাড়ি ছেড়ে দেবো, অনেক তাড়াতাড়ি ছেড়ে দেবো। কেন? তাড়াতাড়ি ছেড়ে দেবো, আড়াইটার মধ্যে ছেড়ে দেবো। Whatever be the case, let me know. Add 10 values and divide that by 10. That's not a big issue. But the thing is, I want everyone of you to write the answers down. Like you're answering a 5 marks or 10 marks question. Get my point? Arrange করছি দেখি কি দাঁড়ায়। ঠিক আছে, অ্যারেঞ্জ করার পর এটা দাঁড়ালো। ক্লিয়ারলি দেখা যাচ্ছে 2 আসছে দুবার, 4 আসছে দুবার। 2 appeared thrice, 4 appeared thrice. Correct? So what is the mode? Not the average. Both of them are modes. Bimodal. See, আরেকটা ডেটা আমি বাড়ি দিলাম 5. 3 of them are modes, multimodal. Get my point?